Hi Scorpio, welcome to your full moon in Gemini reading for December 7th, 2022. I am mixing it up a little bit this time around. I'm a little bit bored with the way I've been reading before, and I just feel like it needs something extra. And so I'm pulling a major arcana for you as the theme for the next 2 to 4 weeks. This is a card that's going to speak to your deeper inner energy, the things that we're learning from the outside world that change us, that make us something better. And I think for me that's more important than the smaller things. The smaller things add up to something big, and that's what I want to focus on from now on. Okay, so I will explain as we go, but your theme is the star. That's a wonderful card. You are being guided. You're under a lucky star for the next 2 to 4 weeks. You can be inspired. You can be inspiring. What is available to others is also available to you. But everything that you do, everything that you create, everything you think goes back into the pool that everybody takes from. So it is also being mindful about what you're giving back, what you are taking, and what you are giving back. Excuse me, I have a fireplace on. Okay, so let's get started, and I'll explain as we go along how this works. So the first card is the full moon closes out a cycle for you, so we're going to see what's closing out. The Judgment card, so it's another major arcana. And this is happening with a lot of readings, so there's a lot of deep things going on that are changing us on an internal level, for the better, hopefully. So the Judgment card is the wake-up call. It's the clarion call. It is something that we cannot unhear. It's something that changes us profoundly, and we can move and act and be different because of it. That's also making judgments. This is also a judgment call, so let's see what's going on here. Let me take another card for you. And you have another major arcana. So this is a very important cycle that's closing out. I think one of the things that you've understood is that not everything is in your hands. Sometimes it is the divine, and that can be your higher self that's, moving the wheel, that's changing life, or that's just some things are not in your hands. I don't know how Scorpio is about controlling things, but it is a fixed sign, so, it could be the fact that the thing that you've understood is that you're not always in control. But the things that you are in control of is how you perceive things. Because the Hanged Man is always saying, look at things from another angle. See things differently. And that restores your peace of mind. And it also gives you the feeling that you don't always have to be in control. So, one thing can happen, two people see it, and it's two different stories. But it's the same thing that happened. And people see it differently. And so you are changing the way you see how life happens. Pretty big stuff, Scorpio. How do you respond to this? Nicely, with the Ace of Swords. Triumph and security. Yeah, this is a really triumphant card. This is my yes card. So yes, you saying yes. Yes to this idea of seeing things differently. Yes to understanding how judgments are made. And yes to the information that I've heard recently that has changed my life and has changed my course in this last cycle. It's clarity. It is Triumph and security. It's the Excalibur card. It's the sword that can only be wielded by truth. With that, you have the Emperor. So this is the bad Emperor. This is not the good Emperor. We have two Emperors in this deck, and you have the Emperor that pulls strings. He rules with an iron fist. And so, you are seeing clarity here. You are seeing that happening out in the world or within your world, and you are seeing it plainly and clearly, and you're making decisions and judgments about this in particular. Interesting. I do want to pull another one there. Now, this can be father as well, father situations, authority figures, people in high places, or just people who think that they rule, but maybe they don't. You have the Justice card here. Really nice. Wow. So, things turn fair. This is fantastic. I mean, what a nice group. So, you hold the key to somebody who has been manipulating situations, maybe on a work level, maybe on a personal level, but what happens is justice. That's the Karma card. And so you will see people who have been manipulating situations find justice. Wow, judgment and justice there, that's some pretty big stuff. So if there has been anybody who's been trying to manipulate you, you suss it out, you see it clearly, and you bring the knife swiftly down. This is also, and I think this is very, very important here, especially with the Star card, what you give, you receive. And so you want to make sure, you want to be honest and truthful to yourself that you are not doing the same. Remember what I said here. What is available to you is available to others. Okay? I also want to say with the Star card, the future looks really, really good, and you are being led to where you need to go. So watch for the clear signs. All right, and the outcome. You have the Queen of Cups. This is your card for me. Some people think it's Cancer, but for me it's Scorpio. And this is deep, intuitive energy. It is the emotions that you are kind of studying right now. Your emotional life, your emotional world, how you respond emotionally to situations, how you can see them in a different way, what your emotions are telling you. This is a big one with the Star. Because if your emotions are leading you, what are they trying to tell you? Now, I can tell you that if you feel bad about something, you are seeing it incorrectly. Your perspective is incorrect. Or your belief about it is incorrect. I'll put it that way. And I say that because every situation has two sides to it, right? And you can choose to see it as a learning opportunity as opposed to something bad that has happened. Or you can understand the lesson of it and therefore gain some truth, some clarity in the situation. It's very often that we learn more from our difficulty than when we're in the happiest, most relaxed state ever. So, it doesn't have to be, though. I mean, as long as you stay in gratitude, you're fine. Wow, look at this. So you have the Page of Cups, and that's my Pisces card. So there's water around you. Water people, psychic energy, intuitive energy, loving energy, but openly loving. It's a real show. These people do not mind at all showing how much emotion they have and how they feel about things. I would say, though, with both of these cards, there can be a moodiness that goes on with this, or you could be going from one emotion to another. So it is really about studying your emotions. But again, when we're referring to the star card here, this is higher energies. She's talking to a fish. The fish is informing her. So that's a little bit otherworldly. You know what I mean? And so pay attention, because I really feel like guides or your higher self are bringing you clarity. And I don't know how you pick up information. I don't know if you're clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient. I don't know how you pick up that information, but for everyone it's different. But the Queen of Cups picks that up, as does the Pisces card, as does the Page of Cups. So you are really getting some spiritual information, some spiritual help, some spiritual guidance with the star. What you learn in this situation is going to come in very handy for the future for you. And it could even be something that you do to inspire others. The trials and tribulations that you've gone through, how you've changed the way you think about things, can hold the key to a lot of people's mental abilities or consciousness, and how you dealt with people who were not, I'm going to say, on the up and up, or that tried to conquer you in some way. Really interesting. And as with Scorpio, it is a deep card, or a deep reading for me, I feel. You have the Knight of Cups here. Goodness sakes. There's a lot of love for you, but it comes from the water people around you, and they will show you, and you will show them. There's going to be some good times with some very good people around you. And again, spiritual messages, loving messages, open heart messages. There is inspiration. For me, the star for you is about inspiration, inspiring yourself, inspiring other people. I get goosebumps with this, so I really feel like we're hitting the nail here. And I get quite a burst of energy, and it's coming from my solar plexus. So I do think that it's going to be a combination of heart, but also that functionality, and they kind of come together with the solar plexus, and you do something. You actually put something out there, even if it's just the start of it. Something really wonderful comes from this. And again, it's the Judgment card, so it's the clarion call. You cannot go back. You cannot unsee what you've seen. You cannot unhear what you've heard. You cannot undo what you've done. In a good way. In a very good way. Well done, Scorpio. Really well done. This is a lovely reading. And I think you're onto something good here. I think the next phase, this closing out of this judgment, what you've learned and where you're going with it, is going to feed you 100-fold on a very spiritual level. It's going to feed your soul. Okay, I will be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading, and I'm doing the dailies, and I am also preparing to do some journaling with the tarot, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and you can learn a lot about yourself and your situation. The idea here is to empower you to do that. Thanks for listening, Scorpio. Enjoy. Take care. Bye.